Alright, here's a sound test. My, everything has been breaking constantly. My headset and, whatnot, so... I sound so, enthusiastic. What was I even doing? Oh yeah, I just finished going to the secret underground layer of secretness. Where are you going, screen? Come back. Okay. Yeah!
No problem.
Just jittered on me. Brackenbury. Oh, Shauna was just mentioning that. What do I have for quests? The man who waits. I saw a car over her heart. I love how no one really asks what, like, went... Oh my god, I got a lot of quests. No one really asks what went on in that room. They're like, I'm going in alone, and everybody's like, okay. Yeah, okay, I can go look for that later. I gotta punch a dude in the face. Seal stuff. Gotta go poke around the dungeons a bit more. I figure I'd do more of the regular quests for now. There's a lot of shit I gotta do. Maybe I'll just explore this area and go from there. Steal your plant. I said steal your plant. How are you? Let's get dinner at the Charred Barrel! This is the embassy.
These circling feet heading nowhere.
I see. It sounds like my day today. The tires are spinning, but the car is not moving. So, I'm a little bit sad. My, car basically died today. It's, pretty sure it's the transmission, which means it's, the death of my car, because, it's not really worth spending $2,000 to fix transmission on a car that's not even worth $2,000, so... Taking it out on Monday to get it looked at, but, I am currently transportationless. So, I'm gonna have to get a new car soon, and, that's gonna be a lot of money. So, we'll see what happens.
How do you do?
Howdy. What can this humble servant of the Republics do for you? Tell me about the Valayan Republics. They are rich in all ways, in wealth, in style, and culture. If you were to go to the Republics, you would not want to leave. Why would you? The people are beautiful and charming. I'm here because the Songreta Ducala wishes it, but when my appointment is done, I will be on the first ship out, and I will sing from here to Salonia. If there's nothing else, I must return to my duties. What do you do here? As the Valayan ambassador, it's my job to ensure that the trade with the Deerwood remains strong and profitable. You are just a bundle of delight and joy, sir. Fearfully in a back room, the dim light of a dying fire, and the fear that the wrong ears will hear it. Colorful, violent, exciting, and more than a little bloody. So they're basically like the Pillars of Eternia Mafia. I don't know why I'm here, by the way. I'm just faffing about. Looking for people to talk to, exploring, stealing. Damn it! How many lockpicks would that require?
This won't stop me for long.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to... I really need to increase my mechanics. I'm pretty sure...
Yeah.
I'm only halfway there. Whoa. Living on a prayer. Ooh, I could open this one.
There! Done!
There, done! It's not stealing if it doesn't have a thing on it. Am I right? Okay, well this place was boring and kinda unprofitable. All this lore. Well, that was riveting. Let us continue. Onwards and upwards, etc., etc. We need more reasonable people in Defiance Bay. Well, if you say so. I like your hat, sir. See a trio of Orlons, bright and gaudy, their instruments, weapons as they compete with one another in brutal disharmony. Brutal disharmony! I feel like that would be a great metal band name. Behind them, a troupe of performers roll, jump, and gesture. Actually, more of a punk band. Like some like alternative rock band. Brutal disharmony is kind of metal, but not quite. Anyway, teeth flashing with exquisite sharpness as they enact some bizarre pantomime. The smallest, one moment seemingly a child, and the next an old man, thrusts obscenely at the crowd, eyes glazed behind his rictus grin. The crowd jostles uncomfortably at his display, dissatisfaction in their midst. See, these guys aren't metal enough. No money is thrown, no praise given as the performers continue their display. The crowd disperses uneasy, and the man-child's grin grows obscene as he watches them go. Dude's part of a fantasy metal band. I can't go over there. This displeases me. Dude's just drinking from this giant golden goblet in the middle of the street. And this dude's just smoking. I want that hat! If I kill him, can I take it? Copperlane Marcus Place is everything you could ever want to buy. That is a lie, sir. I'm sure you know it too. Is that off? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, also, I'm gonna move the phone, because if it's underneath the mic and I suddenly get a text message, I could go to Heritage Hill from here. It is very boring. Feel free to watch without me. Where are the mad kept in Defiance Bay? I'm looking for a neighborhood with a tower. It's near a cemetery. Best you stop looking then. The place you want is Heritage Hill. You can see the tower over the district walls out that way. Justicar points to the northwest. But something happened there. They don't let people in anymore, and none of the knights want to be posted anywhere close to it. Steer clear, and if you know what's good for you. Where are the mad kept in Defiance Bay? Only place around here that takes them is the Brackenberry Sanitarium. I've heard they treat their soul there, take the madness away. But there's still just as many stories coming out of that place that'll chill your blood. The man, if you want to call him that, Ethelmore there, he's head warden. If you're visiting or checking yourself in, he's the one to talk to. I like how I gained experience for something I already knew. What the fuck? Oh, okay. For some reason, his face looked like it was the color of the wolf. So I thought his face was just transparent. I don't know why he's so pale and shiny. It's probably because he doesn't look as much like a grizzled bastard anymore. He looks kind of like a pirate vampire. What's this building? Oh, the Ducal Palace. Oh, I have some business to take care of here, I think. We demand to see the Duke! Okay. He's busy, settle down, you feel the back of my blade? Alrighty then. 12 charms Maggie Tiller. And another goat man! How many freaking goat men are in this place? Also, he's like really sparkly. You reach out for the goat man. You see a man preaching, his voice washing over a small crowd of eager acolytes. He speaks of tolerance and of self-reliance, of pain and beauty. This is really distracting. I just realized how jittery it is. And we're really close up because of the... Yeah, okay, whatever. The crowd nods, agreement clear in the transparent faces, and the preacher frowns. He continues speaking of the importance of anger, the strength of hatred and frustration. His frown deepens as they nod, enraptured. He calls forth one of their number, an older man. It is safe, the preacher says. No harm will come to him. Smiling, the man walks forward to the preacher's embrace. A shudder rocks his frame as he pushes away a thin stiletto through his chest. He falls to the ground and does not breathe long. The crowd groans, confused. They groan. They just saw a guy got stabbed in the lung. They groan. The preacher's face is dark with rage. Do not trust blindly, he says. Do not take the world at its face. Terrible things lie beneath, and you must be prepared before you see the truth. The crowd thins, the body removed, the preacher silent. A few remain to listen, and to them he smiles. Okay. Just stabs some asshole. Meanwhile, 12 charms Maggie Tiller. You see a small mobile stall covered with various goods and sundries. This woman is standing next to it, engaged in a lively discussion with a man who is holding one of the items she is selling. She has a light, friendly countenance and is trying to explain to the man how to control the item. What? He moves his hands around the top of it and mutters what sounds to be gibberish. After several attempts, he growls and thrusts the item back at her and starts to turn away. She stops him with a hand on his shoulder and holds the item in front of his face. She traces a finger over the top of it, slowly and distinctly repeating the same phrase over and over. The object suddenly lights up, shining as brightly as a torch. The man's face brightens as well, and he looks at her expectantly. She runs 2 fingers down the side of the object and the light extinguishes. She hands it back to him and takes her place behind, guiding his hands as she whispers the words to say in his ear. Many failed attempts later, the man is able to light the object on every try. Elated, he hands it back to her as he makes her way behind the cart. While he searches for appropriate coin, she places the item on a shelf under the backside of the cart and replaces it with another from a small box next to it. Money and goods are exchanged, and she watches the man leave, satisfied with his purchase. She scans the crowd, looking for her next mark. She's stroking people's items. Well, I'm going in. I don't care if the Duke's busy. I also have to go punch some guy in the face. This is my land! It should be my keep! Yeah, fuck off. Oh, okay, well. I am building my barracks, so... Oh yeah, I don't have anybody assigned to it, unfortunately. 1 day and 17 hours. Sidley!
Hail and well met.
The young woman wears a simple but well-tailored uniform. She watches the comings and goings around her with quiet attention. Any news to share, or are you just here to see the Ducal Palace? What's the Ducal Palace?
It's the seat of government here in Defiance Bay. This is where Duke Admeth Hadret declared freedom from Adiran rule some 150 years ago.
She lowers her voice and grins. It's also a hotbed of regional politics. Trust me, the gossip here beats what you'll find in any tavern or brothel in the city.
Ah, Deerwood politics. It changes too quickly to be worth keeping up with. Better to strike up conversation in the taverns than to try and loiter inconspicuously in the palace corridors.
Looking for news?
Who are you?
I'm a page here at the palace. I deliver messages and run errands for the Duke and his advisors. The pay's not great, but I can't think of a better introduction to politics.
Oh boy, I've had enough of politics. Alright, what goes on here? She laughs. Oh.
Ha! Where to start? We've got meetings, public hearings, and ceremonies, and that's just the stuff that happens out in the open.
She leans a little closer. This is where the Duke and the key advisors work, so there's always someone bartering for a favor. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to talk about that side of things. But if you want the official version, she clears it. And gestures clockwise around the palace. We have a shrine devoted to Magrin, official records, and chambers for public hearings and council meetings. Tell me about the Shrine of Magrin. It's a symbol of Magrin's protection of Defiance Bay. She's represented in the revolutionary spirit of Deerwood ever since the independence, and her involvement in creating the Godhammer bomb only affirmed her importance to us. She scratches her neck. That's also where the first of the sacred fires burned, but Firga, the Tranquil Ardent, has had trouble keeping them lit. What kind of records are stored here? Mostly dull official stuff, census counts, tax records, militia registers. Now I keep my distance. I got curious one day and got drafted into reshelving half the records. Worst day of my life. Is there a hearing going on right now?
Sure is. Duke Avar's been meeting with some city leaders for weeks now, trying to figure out how to address the legacy. The whole business is terribly secret, though. I tried to sit in the gallery during my lunch break one day and got turned away.
I got a lot of the talk. But a lot of the talk concerns animancy, so there's a good reason they're keeping the meetings behind closed doors. The legacy? What's that?
Widewind's legacy.
That's what a lot of people call the rash of the Hollowborn. Or the rash of Hollowborn. The rash of the Hollowborn. Alright, Widewind's legacy is now a really disgusting rash.
The theory goes that it's punishment for meddling in animancy.
So you're asking immediately after that, why is animancy so controversial?
Where to begin? Traditionalists think that it's a crime against the gods. There's no question that poking around in souls is risky, but the more progressive elements believe it's our only shot at restoring healthy births. And it doesn't help matters that animancy research often involves old Angwithan relics that were illegally looted from ruins in Air Glenfath.
She makes a quick twitching motion with her index and middle fingers. What are Hollowborn? She raises an eyebrow.
You really are fresh from the road. That's racist. Hollowborn are children born without souls. They often don't live very long, and those that do generally receive some kind of treatment from the animancers.
So what do you think about animancy? There we go.
Me, I think the real danger of animancy is confusing a real scholar with an expensive fake. We get a new case here every day. Some poor couple in the Gift or Copper Lane who spent every copper they had on miracle cure for their unborn child. It never works.
She shakes her head.
Breaks your heart, but there's usually nothing we can do for them.
I see. I'd like to ask about something else. Tell me about the current Duke.
That would be Avar Wolfgren. Don't let the title fool you, though. Our dukes have been elected since independence. Some find Duke Avar rather coarse. He's a frontier noble. Personally, I think a rough and tumble type is just what Defiance Bay needs.
Alright, see you later. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Palace, blah. Gonna open your doors and check out all your shit. Da-na-na-na-na. Na-na. Na-na-na-na. Na-na-na. Well then. What's this? It doesn't say. Oh, hold on a sec. I'm gonna check the rest of this floor first. Is there anything to look at? Oh, hello.
Good day to you.
The woman's head is bowed as her lips move in prayer. Just as you approach, you hear her glimpsing at the... Oh, so you hear her glimpsing. You catch her glimpsing at the statue near her. She notices you and forces a smile. Praise be to Magrin, and welcome to her temple. How may I be of service? You seem upset. What's wrong? Her shoulders slump. This is about the fires, isn't it? She puts a hand on your shoulder. They're just symbols. You can't put your faith in them. The fires... The sacred pyres all around town. You must have seen the statues of the goddess around the city holding up empty braziers. Empty braziers. I've kept them burning steadily for 15 years, but I haven't been able to conjure them for months now, and the people need to see them more than ever these days. What does that mean? It's my devotions and prayers that keep them lit, but lately when I try to pray, all I can think about are the Hollowborn all over the city, the grieving families, the refugees. She shakes her head. How could Magrin allow us to suffer like this? What strength do we gain from a soulless child? Well, maybe if you'd stop building all these really ugly statues. Durance grunts with disdain.
What strength do we gain from adversity, from trial and test? The fires don't wither because she lacks in faith, they wither because she does not understand how to be faithful to a whore. A whore wants neither praise nor devotion. A whore wants to be compensated for her services, and Magrin is paid and pleasured in sweat and struggle and pain. This mewling imbecile is unworthy of Magrin's womanly heat.
The fuck, grizzled bastard? What's your problem? Shrug. This is shaking your faith. She nods, running her hands through her hair. But I believe Magrin may be speaking to me again. She frowns and casts a quick glance in your direction. Lately I've been seeing visions, a place in the wilderness with pools filled with sunbursts of color, strange falls that seem to rise to the heavens even while they splash into the earth. She raises her hands as if framing an image of her vision. And behind the falls is a cave, and behind the cave is a stair, and behind the stair is a deep, dark path, and behind the deep, dark path is the pits of hell. Oh, sorry. Filled with fire and heat and danger and some token of my goddess. I know there's something there, but where it is or how I get there, she shakes her head. I've been meaning to ask around the expedition hall to see if anybody recognizes the description. To be honest, though, I don't know what I'd even do if I found the place.
Worthless, like so many of Magrin's flock. Afraid of her gods to...
I keep changing his voice, I don't really care. He's grizzled bastard.
If Magrin speaks to her, it would hasten an end to the hypocrite's life. As sufficient is certainly a death trap for the weak.
His voice changed like 4 times during that entire thing. Fucking grizzled bastard. What's the significance of the sacred pyres? They symbolize Magrin's power and guidance, and right now the people of Defiance Bay need to be assured of her presence. She crosses her arms, staring at the statue. Our neighbors in the Valayan Republic see us as superstitious, but we're just sensitive to the signs and warnings of the gods. Something else? Something else? This whole... this is a write-off. I'd like to know more about the temple here. Magrin is the most revered goddess among the Deerwoodians, so it's no surprise that her temple is part of the ducal palace. Her fires symbolize trials, revolutions, and the blazing of new paths, all of which are important to us. Blazing. She gestures to the statue. This is the first of the sacred pyres. When this is lit, so are the rest around the city. Well, you fail! It's empty. Fingers are blackened. Can I steal? I mean, look around. Whoa! He had like a really like echoey voice there. Hello? I'm just gonna let myself in, don't mind me. Nobles. Noobles. Another quest at some point. Chancellor Warren, Marshal Forwin, Records Keeper. Thank you for coming. I've been trying to track you down for some time. Fuck. Quick test. Test. Okay, so the last thing you should have heard there was me saying fuck and then clicking on something because there was a pop-up and I clicked on it. And then you didn't hear my outraged scream when Fraps crashed. But thankfully I didn't lose anything, so... Been trying to track you down for some time. This is Marshal Forwin, Earl Bademar's military advisor. He will serve as a witness for this proceeding. He gestures to the man next to him. Well met, Road Warden. Your reputation precedes you, I admit. You've created a bit of stir throughout the nobility with your reclamation of Caed Nua. Most are still not sure what to think about you. What's this about? The legitimacy of your claim to Caed Nua is in question. Earl Bademar has issued a ruling on the matter. Okay. Caed Nua was abandoned for over a century and have claimed the land through strength of arms. My claim is legitimate. If there were no other claimant, you would be correct. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Yeah, well, fuck him and the horse he rode in on. Or didn't ride in on because he couldn't be bothered to meet with me himself. All will be made clear once Lord Gathbin arrives. Will Gathbin his ass out onto the street. Do you have any questions for me while we wait? Okay. Tell me about Earl Bademar. Earl Bademar comes from an esteemed line of lords that rose to prominence after the War of Defiance some 150 years ago. Sorry. The Deerwood consists of 7 earldoms. The Bademars govern the northern earldom known as the Grasp. As to the current Bademar, he is a fine man, as I know. It is an honor to serve him. Okay, what about this Grasp? The Grasp is now the largest of the 7 earldoms after it consumed the pre-war earldom of Yenwood. It encompasses notable settlements such as New Heomar. What was the guy's name at the beginning of the game again? Heodin? Heomar? Garen's Grasp, Gilded Vale, and of course, Caed Nua. Yenwood? When Deerwood was a mere colony of Adir, it was divided into 9 earldoms. When the Adirans were defeated and ultimately driven out, 2 of the earldoms were absorbed and borders were adjusted. The Yenwood was one such earldom. What do you know of Gathbin? While I've met him but once, it was ample time to determine the character of Lord Letter Gathbin, or lack thereof. He is descended from an old Adiran line that predates the War of Defiance. His great-grandfather, Rennig Gathbin, was the Earl of Yenwood during the war. That is, until he was stripped of his lands and driven from Deerwood. Do you know which way... What? Oh, do you know which way Earl Bademar has ruled? I'm sorry, my lord, I do not. The Earl's decree is sealed. Okay. What was that about Road Warden? The one who rules Caed Nua on behalf of the Earl of Yenwood is traditionally known as the Road Warden. Your position might not be entirely official yet, but the title is an appropriate form of address. He nods and smiles. Okay. Your timing is impeccable. Here comes Lord Gathbin now! Fade screen. Fade screen. Oh, and suddenly we're all sparkly. Turned into Edward. Okay. An opulently dressed man strides towards the Chancellor, his sandy hair trailing him like a banner caught in the light breeze, boot heels echoing throughout the hall.
Sorry, I saw messages and it distracted me. An elven woman with cropped hair dressed in dark, glinting mail shadows his steps before taking position alongside him. She watches you unabashedly, taking your measure. Let's move past this formality as quickly as possible. I've other matters to attend to. It is well known that Cade Nua belongs to me by right. And where's this pretender? Show me the fool that thinks to steal my land. Where is this low-born wretch? Warren and glances at me. This woman here, this is the lady of Cade Nua. I thought she was just another servant, perhaps a valet or scullery maid. Everyone who owns their own keep, raise a hand. Go on, don't be shy. Imbecile! I hope you've enjoyed your time squatting on my land. Provoke me further and I'll hang you from the highest wall of Cade Nua when our business is finished. Chancellor, read the Earl's decree. Warren breaks the seal on the scroll and unfurls it. Regarding the matter of the Gathbin claim on Cade Nua, Earl Baedmar finds that Gathbin claim was never relinquished. By law, Cade Nua is the rightful property of the Gathbin family. I knew it, Gathbin smirks at you triumphantly. I'm not yet finished reading, my lord. Gathbin rolls his eyes and motions for the Chancellor to continue. However, the Earl recognizes Rinz's pardon, claiming Cade Nua, sorry. That just read really bad. A site that has stood abandoned and even, some would say, cursed for over a century. Before Cade Nua is returned to the Gathbin family, the Earl has decreed that Lord Gathbin will provide compensation in the form of absolutely not. He folds his arms, a defiant scowl on his face. My lord, Warren raises his eyebrows. The amount is quite considerable, and a requirement for your land is to be returned to you. Oh, sorry, wrong person. Fuck! The amount is quite reasonable, and the requirement for your land to be returned to you, if you would just allow me to finish. I'll not pay a single copper to this miscreant for my ancestral land. Do you think I'm blind to the Earl's motives, lackey? He thinks he can send a message with this insult. I have a message you can send that son of a whore. Gathbin raises an open hand at the Chancellor, shrinks from him, arms raised in defense. Grab his arms. Keep your hands off me, you peasant! Oh! He yanks his arm free of your hand and steps back. The Elman woman deftly draws a pistol from her thick leather belt, her eyes widen in anticipation. My lord, my lady, please, there is no need for further violence. Lord Gathbin holds your gaze for several heartbeats, his eyes burning with hatred. I'll be coming for what's mine! Count on it! Come, Captain Emery, we're leaving! He sneers defiantly before storming down the hall. Captain lowers her pistol and gives a smirking shrug before following her employer. Puppy just paces in there. Well, I can't say that Gathbin's reaction was entirely unexpected, though through no fault of your own, I'm afraid you've made a powerful enemy. Good. I look forward to kicking his, pompous little ass into the ground. Ugh. He did seem a little upset, didn't he? I've heard he's always been vicious, even as a boy, and he can hold a grudge for a very long time. In any case, Cade Nua now officially belongs to you, since Lord Gathbin has rejected the Earl's decree. He hands you a deep blue scepter, which looks to have been carved entirely out of sapphire. Here, this belonged to one of the old lords of Cade Nua by right. It's yours now. You've gained an item. Yeah, right. Like, I'm gonna give that asshole any money. I'm just gonna be an asshole. Please extend an invitation to Lord Gathbin to feast with me within the halls of Cade Nua. There's no need for us to be enemies.
That is a generous offer. I'll make sure it reaches Lord Gathbin. It was a pleasure to finally meet you, milady. He more bows. Perhaps we'll speak again under more pleasant circumstances. Farewell, Rins. The marshal nods at you and leaves. Well, that was an experience. I want to look at your books! Belmas. Beat what? Beat who? Beat when? Beat how? Beat Irby. Damn. Nothing! Okay. Ooh, I have like... Can I beat people over the head with this thing? Oh my god! Ah. Binds with wizard, priest, druid. What does that mean? So I could give it to my wizard. You know, he'll be bound to it. I really want to, like... I really want to beat the dude over the head with his own scepter, basically. I think that would be quite amusing. Books. Excerpts from the Sermon of Struggle is basically this session in a nutshell. Bloody Bill. I was looking for some silly names, but I guess they were all serious about their flood victims. Dear witty and farce. Offstage, offstage. Cow slip. My little cow slip.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I got some XP. I'm now more than halfway there. I do want to see what's in the basement. Oh, this is outside. Well, fine. I haven't gone to the Crucible Keep yet. It's Heritage Hill. I do have to go to Heritage Hill for a quest.
Politics, infighting, greed.
Greed!
And a shrine to Margaret as well. Her clergy belongs there.
Okay. Okay. Well, I haven't gone over here yet, so let's go check this out. I still haven't explored this whole friggin' city yet. Apparently Shauna's been here for hours. No survivors. There's like 2 whole other areas that I haven't even visited yet. Let's go to this friendly looking keep.
don't think I've been to the expedition hall yet. Hey, man.
How do you do?
Ah! Aldemar gives you an appraising eye. Judging by the scars on his face, he's lucky to be able to do that much.
Every day we get more from the hinterlands, pouring into Defiance Bay. Keeps us busy on the watch. It does. You look like you've recently arrived yourself. Who are you?
A soldier from the mountain. I'm just kidding.
A soldier from the Crucible Knights, and proud of it. I help keep everything running at the keep so the Commander Cliver can focus on more important matters. Looking for something or just knocking dirt off your boots? 1 sec, I'm just gonna